maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
They have one more win than Chicago, and they literally beat Chicago in Week 17, and yet the Niners are on the road and the Bears are at home. Why? Because of an outdated rule that says, well, winning your division is the holy grail. Rewarding an 8-win division winner with a home playoff game is like giving the corner office to the guy who won the office fantasy pool instead of the guy who actually closed the accounts all year.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
It's going to open up Pandora's box, but I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Welcome to another edition of the Craig Carton Show. My man Tyron A. Johnson right there, already smiling. I don't know why he's smiling, but he's smiling already. So good morning to you there, Tyrone.
Yeah, good morning.
Obviously, the big story today, it happened yesterday afternoon, but we can get into it real quick. Mike Tomlin decides to step down from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he is not going to be coaching football this season, take a year off, and then he still kind of Steelers rights to Mike Tomlin. So a year from now, teams like the New York Jets, teams like, name your favorite team that's got a lousy head coach or a quarterback situation, are going to make a trade with the Steelers to get the services of Mike Tomlin the same way Sean Payton went to the Denver Broncos. But what an end of an era. An end of an era. The only coach to coach 2 decades and not have a single losing season. A great head coach. Only has the 1 Super Bowl, but that's more Super Bowls than I got in my lifetime. So I'm not going to make fun of it. But Mike Tomlin is done. Johnny Harbaugh is done. And oh, by the way, Kevin Stefanski is done. And isn't it interesting? All 3 guys come from the same division, and all 3 guys are now regarded as the top 3 candidates. I guess put Tomlin aside because he's not going to be a head coach this year for head coaching jobs in the NFL. All out of the AFC North. The only guy that survives the AFC North is Zach Taylor, the guy that should have survived it, considering he's never done jack squat with the Cincinnati Bengals.
No, LaFleur.
Huh?
No, you got it.
AFC, not NFC, Tyler. Stop smoking the ganja. I keep telling you that before the show.
Yeah.
Now, here's the reality. Mike Tomlin is now an afterthought until next year.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin kind of disappears into the wilderness, gets to enjoy his family, and kind of recharge the battery and the engines. Mm-hmm. But what's funny to me is that a lot of people think Mike Tomlin would make a great analyst. So there's 2 kinds of analysts in football. There's the studio guy.
Yeah.
Right? Usually like 5 or 6 dudes at the desk. They're typically old white guys. We started to bring some youth into that mix right now. And then there's the game analyst. Mm-hmm. So it's funny because I've never met Mike Tomlin. I've seen the same stuff you've seen, post-game press conferences. I think he's got a great personality.
Does.
He's got a certain way with words that I like, right? Yep. But I'm not sure which he'd be better at. And it ain't easy to be a game analyst as easy as people think it might be.
No,
right?
It's not easy.
So which job would you give him?
I think.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There's a third job as well. There's game analyst, like the Greg Olsons, Tom Brady of the world, right? Then there's the Right, Tony Romo. There's the studio analyst, pregame, postgame. That's like Terry Bradshaw, Michael Strahan, Harry Long.
Yeah.
Those guys. And then I guess there's the Fox, ESPN, kind of like gab-fast talking shows like Get Up and, like First Things First and, on the different networks, those types of shows.
Yeah.
What do you think you'd be best at?
Well, I keep them away from those types of shows because they manufacture hot takes every day.
Yes, they
so
do.
I would keep him away from that.
I chose not to, but many do.
I'm saying that's what, in general, those shows do.
Yeah.
I would keep him away from
James
that.
is the GOAT. Prove me I'm wrong. That kind of stuff. Right?
I would want to put Tomlin in a spot where he's highlighted. So I would like, if he wants to, the booth for a game.
So game analyst.
Yeah, the tough part about that is, though, would be where. Just because right now.
Well, if he's a Fox guy, he's the third team.
And I
best because you have Greg Olsen at 2, Tom Brady at 1.
Right.
If he's CBS, you've got Romo 1, and you've got J.J. Watt 2 with Iron Eagle.
And in both cases, I think the number 2 guy is better at games than the number 1 guy at this point. I like Watt more than Romo at this point.
Okay.
And I like Olsen more than Brady at this point.
What's funny about that, Romo's taking a beating because of the game last week when he was kind of muttering under his breath and talking to himself, and he has not delivered on what he did the first couple of years when he was predicting plays.
He knew every play.
Right?
Yeah, he knew every play.
I still think Tony Romo at his best is him and Greg Olsen are the best current analysts at their best.
Okay.
I think Tom Brady's gotten better. I think he's worthy of the spot. I think Troy Aikman's good.
To me, Aikman is the gold standard.
Okay, that's fine.
For me.
I wouldn't argue that.
Yeah.
But I think those are like the current Mount Rushmore. That being said, I've got the job for Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
And I feel I think most people are going to agree with me on this one, okay?
Yeah.
And I have actually given it 5 minutes of thought.
Okay.
Which is a lot for me to be able to concentrate on one thing.
For 5 minutes?
5 minutes? You know me.
Yes.
That's a lot
It's
of
a long time.
concentration.
Yeah.
That's like ginkgo biloba pills. And that's like, no sound, 5 minutes of dead-on concentration.
Yeah, what's
I've
up?
got the answer. Mike Tomlin could save us from an insufferable race baiter on TV. I would fire Ryan Clark and replace him with Mike Tomlin.
See, that's
and
a
the
cold
reason
shot.
I do that
That's
is
a cold shot.
if you make that replacement, Ryan Clark can't claim racism. He can't say you replaced me with a young white guy or a pretty blonde girl. He'd have to eat it because you're replacing him with a black guy, right? And here's my thing on Ryan Clark. I used to be the biggest fan of Ryan Clark's. I even went on Twitter. You can find my own tweet. Ryan Clark is the next superstar in sports media. And he thanked me for saying it. So then I reached out to him once. We're mutual friends or producers in common.
Yeah.
And I reached out to him because I thought it'd be nice for he and I to, get to know each other. Like I've done that many times. We're in the same industry. Like we're all competing with each other, but I respect talent.
Right.
Like I'm not one of those guys that says everybody but me sucks.
Okay.
And a lot of people in our business do that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't watch anyone else on TV. I don't listen to anyone else on radio. Everybody else sucks. I'm the only guy who can do this. I thought Ryan Clark was a rising star. And then unfortunately, he made a decision, and maybe that's good for his family and himself, where he became a race guy. Unfortunately, a lot of his takes are about race, and I can't stand that black or white. So he got to the point where I find him insufferable now. And I love The Pivot. I think The Pivot had a chance to be one of the great podcasts out there. And again, it all became soapbox race crap, right? So now I'm going to replace him with Mike Tomlin. America is happy. Mike Tomlin's employed. He's happy. And we can move on with our lives and enjoy good sports content and tech.
I know you have a thing with Ryan Clark. My thing is, though, in all seriousness, I believe there's one person in one of those studio jobs that doesn't seem like they like doing it anymore.
Okay.
And that's Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw is also 90.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And
right?
I know it might be a little too on the nose because of the Steelers thing, but would I be upset
Go ahead.
if I turned on Fox and I saw Howie Long, and I saw Gronkowski.
Yep.
And I see
Strahan
and Menifee.
Kurt Menifee.
And then you put Tomlin there.
And Jay Glazer.
Yeah, Jay Glazer. Yeah. I like that fit better because I think Tomlin, for at least a year,
that's fine,
would want to be there. And I just don't think Terry Bradshaw wants to be there anymore.
I think Terry Bradshaw, with all due respect, has gotten to a point where I'm not sure that he even watches the games anymore.
Right.
He's Terry Bradshaw.
Right.
So his job is be Terry Bradshaw, do a couple highlights, tell a couple jokes, and be Terry Bradshaw.
Right.
But he obviously had a legendary career.
Great career.
So we all recognize
Both
that.
CBS and Fox.
That's
He's a
right.
legend.
If Tomlin, I think if Tomlin's going to go back and coach again, then studio analyst is the great job because although, look, you have to talk in very fast clips.
Yes.
Like you don't get more than maybe 30 seconds every time you open your mouth. And in an hour show, and I'm not exaggerating this, he would talk for maybe 4 minutes.
Right.
So I think that's an easier landing spot.
It is.
For a very bright guy, very articulate guy to be able to get his point across in a small amount of time. Not do the play-by-play stuff because you're going to leave anyway.
Right.
Safe landing in the studio that also keeps you relevant because we see you every Sunday. And then you're getting ready for an eventual life after football. And then a year later, you have a choice. You could stay at a Fox or a CBS, probably make $1 million a year. Yep. Or you could say, I'm a coach and coaches like to coach. I take the year off, I make $1 million. I then return to whatever the best job available is, and I make $20 million for the next 5 years. Right. And if I'm done after that, and now I'm, I don't know, 65, 67, whatever it would be, I can always return to the network because I've proven I can do it. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I think that would be great. And then
good spot for him. I adore Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
I think Mike Tomlin, and I've never met the man, is the kind of guy like, you want your daughter to marry. Yeah, the kind of guy that you're comfortable with, the kind of guy that's smart, the kind of guy that's got integrity, and he's a damn good coach. And I'm basically being selfish. I want him to go to Fox or CBS. Yep. And a year from now, when the Jets win 5 games but have a new quarterback, he replaces Aaron Glenn. Yeah. I've got it all worked out.
I have it worked out as well.
Okay.
Sirianni, you get one more year.
You can't have
No. You get another year, Sirianni, and then you come right in with the Eagles. Come right in with the Eagles in a year if Sirianni doesn't get it done.
We got Eagles talk coming up as well. The Eagles did the obvious. Or did they? We'll explain coming up. I want it for me. You can't have them.
Yeah, Eagles.
You already got a Super Bowl. No way.
OK Dubs has to go back to his roots. I'm not a Jets fan, I'm not a Giants fan, and neither one of those teams even play in New York. But I'm a New Yorker through and through, despite where my mail gets sent. And I will not stand for the Jets to be dragged through the mud in this way. Not going to happen. So Dante Moore, if you do leave, you should be so lucky to fly the plane.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Who are we looking at? We're looking at SGA because of its availability and consistency. It's Jalen Brunson doing his usage and his leadership. It's Jaylen Brown for how they're playing. It's Cade Cunningham because Detroit's in the top of the East. The MVP talk is going to be wild, and it'll be interesting to watch. MVPs just don't dominate. They survive the season.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Steelers get their touchdown, and they miss the extra point. It was Lamar Jackson who made the plays to get the Ravens into what should have been easy field goal territory. So explain to me how in the world we can look at last night's game as, well, there you go, can't trust Lamar Jackson.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Tyrone Johnson here as always. We brought up the Eagles there, and they did the obvious yesterday. They fired Nick Sirianni's best friend, Kevin Patullo, so he's out. But I guess, did they announce that Sirianni's safe, right?
Sirianni
Has that been announced?
Well, they allowed him to do it. They allowed him to release the statement. The way the Eagles work, he would not have been allowed. That would have been a Howie Roseman statement if he wasn't.
So they didn't announce it, but he's safe.
He's under contract.
Nick Sirianni lives to fight another day.
Yes.
Which brings to the point something that you guys all mocked me for. And I apologize. I did not bring it up in the pre-show meeting. So these guys, you don't have it ready. That's on me. I was very busy. I'm a big celebrity. I was being interviewed by People Magazine this morning. And I just didn't have time to mention this to you. Do you guys remember what I said? I believe it was the day after Brian Dable got fired by the New York Giants.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any recollection of what I said?
Yeah, I remember what you said.
I believe it got like 19 million views on social media because we are the hottest show that on the planet right now.
And if the thing you said that you're about to say happens, you will deserve credit then. You don't deserve any credit for it now.
I deserve a lot of credit for it now.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, go ahead and tell the people.
So all you, your fellow comrades in Philly, the bunch of sheep that they are. At the two sports radio stations there, the Fanatic and where I used to work, WIP.
Yeah.
They're a little late to the game.
I worked at both.
Yeah.
Unsuccessful.
A little late to the game.
Yeah.
I actually had offered a big contract to go to Philly to work at the Fanatic when I came back from prison.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
I was told that
I said no.
Yeah, and I was told I was going to be part of that show.
No, I said no to that.
I was told that. I was literally in a meeting. I was told I was going to be on that show.
Just let me back up the truck here for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I got offered a job to do mornings at the Fanatic in Philadelphia and compete against WIP, a place that I had worked in the mid-'90s, okay? And I said to the guy who's a wonderful young man, who's not that young, named Joe Bell.
Very good
who
man.
Ran the Fanatic.
Good man.
I believe Joe Bell is a kind, good man.
He is.
In an industry with a very few of those types of guys.
Yes.
And I said to him, when we were debating my coming to Philly when I got out of prison, I said, I'll come there, but I need to pick who's working with me. And he said, who would you pick from our roster of talent? And I said, you don't have a roster of talent. I said, you have one guy.
Okay.
And I said, I want Tyrone A. Johnson to be my co-host, sidekick, whatever name you want to give it.
Yeah.
And he said, if that's the guy you want, that's the guy you get.
Yeah.
So we came this close.
Yeah.
Close.
He brought me to the meeting and said, I don't know if this is going to happen. He did. He said, but if it does,
you're in.
You're in.
I had you. I had your back.
I
just didn't want to live in Philly ever again, so I decided not to take the gig. No, so what I said the day after Brian Dable got fired, and you mocked me, and Ethan mocked me, and the other fella Ryan mocked me. I said, if the Philadelphia Eagles want to fix their offense and actually win another Super Bowl, they would fire Kevin Patullo and hire Brian Dable.
Yeah.
And he sat here and mocked me, and Ethan mocked me. We even did that picture for you.
Yeah.
And here we are now, 24 hours after the Eagles have done what we all knew they were going to do. There's nothing special about that. Fired Kevin Patullo, and the immediate word on the street in Philadelphia and outside is that the best guy for the job would be Brian Dable. It's like all you have to do is spend an hour of your life with me and Tyrone every day, and you're going to learn so much and be prepared for future conversations. Because I told you this back in November. Was it November when he got fired? October, whenever it was.
Yeah.
When he got fired, I had the solution for the Eagles, not next year, this year. Had the Eagles fired Kevin Patullo on Halloween and hired Brian Dable, guess what? You wouldn't have lost to San Francisco. You wouldn't have been the 3 seed. You would have been the 2 seed, and you would have beaten the Green Bay Packers. And if you had to play San Fran, you would have beaten them too. You're welcome.
No.
Johnny come lately.
No, you come too far. Number one, he didn't get the job yet. Number two, at that time, that would have been a terrible move at the time.
For whom?
Because he would have had to install a brand new system in the middle of the season.
Nah, he would have figured it out. By the way,
he wouldn't have figured it out.
He and Jalen Hurts are also dear friends.
I don't know about that.
Mentor-mentee relationship.
Yeah, well, we'll see, because he also benched him. All right, so I don't know. I think
Nick
there's going to be at least a conversation. He benched him. They say Dable was screaming from the go with Tua, go with Tua.
And by the way,
look how wrong he was.
Wrong.
In the long run.
Tua won the national championship.
Yeah, and then look at it now.
Yeah.
Who'd you rather have now?
Huh?
Tua or Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he was super wrong about that. Then he got it the hell up out of there and went to Oklahoma, finished second in the Heisman without Dable.
How could you say he got it wrong?
He got it wrong.
When Tua came in, and as much as I don't like Tua,
he won that game.
dominated the second half and won that game for Alabama.
Then the following year, Tua on a bad wheel comes out, and Hurts comes in and wins the SEC championship game. And now Dable's in there with the my bads.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is he owes Hurts an apology, and he may or may not get that job. I wouldn't be upset.
He'd be the first guy I would hire if I'm Philadelphia.
He would be the number 3 guy on my list.
So let me see if I can guess this, because we did not discuss this. He'd be the number 3 guy on your list for offensive coordinator.
Yes.
So Mike McDaniel's on your list.
He's number 1, but it might not be possible because he may get a head coaching job.
Fair,
he may go to Detroit, but he would be my first choice.
He'd be your first choice. Your second choice for offensive coordinator in Philadelphia. Let me ask a couple questions.
Yeah.
Just yes, no questions.
Yeah.
Was this guy a head coach last year?
No.
This past year?
No.
Okay, he was not. Was he a coordinator?
Yes.
So you want a guy, Cliff Kingsbury.
That's who I would go with.
Got it.
As long as he understands that the offensive line coach stays. That was a sticking point 2 years ago in which he interviewed for the job. He wanted to bring in his own offensive line coach.
Okay.
That was a sticking point. He would be number 2. And then if you can't get those guys, then I would absolutely go with Dable.
Why would you want the guy that has a relationship with your quarterback?
Because I don't yet know if it's a good relationship.
I'm telling you, it's a good one. Trust me.
If it's a good relationship,
yes,
then yes. And I also like the fact that he does, in the case of all 3, they have head coaching experience, and I think that does.
I think helps Sirianni out also.
I do.
And when you fire Sirianni on September 12th, you've got a guy that's ready to rock and roll. Listen, I want to be very clear about this. I am not selfish at all. I am also not territorial.
Yeah.
All right, you've known me a long time. I am not allowing that. All right, you get your greedy, stinking Philadelphia Eagle green hands off my future coach.
Well, hopefully it's
You've been
Sirianni.
to 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years?
Yeah.
You've got a Super Bowl title.
Yep.
That's your second Super Bowl championship in the last decade.
Yes.
All right, you've experienced winning. You have a great roster, not a good roster. Underachieved this year. That's a fair comment. Everyone's going to accept that. Very disappointing off the Super Bowl last year. But I'm not letting your greedy, stinky, claw-infested Eagle green fingers get their hands around my future head coach. I've got this all planned out. The Eagles keep Aaron Glenn. We get our quarterback picking number 2 in the draft. That quarterback has an up and down year. We all agree after 2 years, Aaron Glenn is not the guy. And then I go right to Mike Tomlin, and I do what the Giants are doing today with John Harbaugh. In the facility, you can't leave. More on Harbaugh next, right here on the Carton Show. You cannot have my guy. Won't allow it.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gales and Mahomes, he isn't going to be ready for September or October. And unless they get a really good veteran quarterback, maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp and you may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll also stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got Dunze. He's got you got DJ Moore. You got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to the Carton Show. We got the John Harbaugh New York Giants story coming up in a few minutes as well, but it's a shorter segment. I want to get this in there before I forget about it. Remember a week ago, I think it was about a week ago, when Giannis came out and said, I'm not the kind of guy to ever demand a trade.
Yeah.
And that was on the heels of the owner of the Knicks telling me on the radio that they were not going to go get Giannis, right, without using his name, but not to expect a big-time deal like that. Something happened last night.
Right, and real fast before you get to that, and the thinking was like, yeah, that's easy to say in early January.
Sure.
When you say that in early February, when the trade deadline actually comes.
Right, and if you lose 5 games in a row and the fan base is starting to panic a little bit, things might change, to be fair. But I thought it was interesting yesterday, I'm not sure if you guys saw this or not, what happened in Milwaukee. So first off, they're wearing the Cream City jerseys. Like it or spike it?
I don't, because if you
spike it,
I spike it because they're talking about it's supposed to be Dream City.
Yeah, but it says Cream City.
It says Cream City and they're lying. Yes.
Yeah, it does say Cream City. Like, that's not supposed to be like some Fugazi D, is it?
It's supposed to be.
Yeah, but it says Cream City on it.
Of course it does.
Oh, I didn't realize. So that's supposed to say Dream City.
Yes.
I swear to God, I thought that said Cream City.
It does.
Like, I'm not even doing a bit on that.
Right.
I would have told you that jersey says Cream City on it.
Yeah.
It says Dream City.
That's what they're saying.
Well, that's a lie.
Of course it is.
When did Milwaukee become the Dream City?
Or the Cream City.
It's closer to Cream City than it could say Wisconsin.
Atlanta's the Cream City.
No, is it?
Well, I thought.
Hang on a sec. I thought it was Cream City because of all the cows in Wisconsin, right? Cow farms in Milwaukee.
That would make sense.
They got a lot of cream there.
Yeah.
I thought that it was Cream City.
It's Dream City.
I never heard of Dream City.
No one's heard of
And by
Dream
that
City.
notion, to be fair, I never heard of a Cream City anyway.
Well, people say it's Atlanta.
Why is it Atlanta? Do you have any idea?
The gentlemen's clubs.
Gentlemen's clubs?
Yeah.
Yeah? I once went to a place in Hotlanta, just outside of Buckhead. I think it was called like the Playboy Club at the time. This is in the 90s. And I went in, and there's this gal, like petite gal, maybe 5'4", 5'5", and beautiful, had the stripper body, the whole thing. And the place was packed. Everyone's drinking, right? And how do I say this delicately? I saw the craziest, the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life in that world.
Okay, what'd she do?
She had like a bar stool on stage.
Oh.
And she had like what a beer split is?
Yeah.
So instead of like a 12-ounce beer, it's like maybe 4.5, 5 ounce, smaller bottle.
Yeah.
She goes, all right, guys, how much money to hide this bottle? Okay, you know what she meant by that.
Yeah.
And dudes are throwing mad cash at the stage. No exaggeration. There's got to be $50K on stage.
Yeah.
Pure cash, right? She goes, all right, I'm now going to hide the bottle. And she comes over and she kind of like straddles the bar stool. And now she's, concentrating because it's a delicate maneuver she's about to perform. And she goes, I need silence, please. Everyone just give me some silence. I have not done this often. I'm going to do it for all you people right now. $50K up on stage in cash. And she kind of straddles the stool. And she winds up taking one out. And that place went bananas.
Wow.
And another 50 grand thrown on stage.
My instinct was to reach for my wallet from you telling the story. That was the instinct.
I was like, oh my God.
Here's
my phone, here's my wallet.
Here's everything.
Here's the checkbook.
What's your cash out? What's your cash out? Tell me your cash out.
Yeah, craziest thing I ever saw.
Yeah, it's wild.
In a club like that. No, so Giannis, Milwaukee's getting blown out in the first half last night at home. They're down by like 30 points, right, at halftime. Come out in the second half, and Giannis made a good play, and he winds up, you actually saw the picture right there, kind of winds up on his ass, right? He started booing the Bucks crowd. And he said after the game, he goes, look, I'm busting my ass for you people, right? I'm trying my hardest. If you're going to boo me, well, then I'm going to boo you.
Yeah.
That is not a recipe for success.
Hell no. You're not. First of all, even Giannis, you're not going to win against the fans if it gets adversarial.
Now, this happened, was it 2 years ago?
With the Mets.
With the New York Mets.
Yep.
When the New York Mets, what was the guy's name? He wound up going to the Chicago Cubs. Javi Baez, right?
Yeah.
Javi Baez and Francisco Lindor joined him. They gave the Met fans the thumb down.
Yep.
Then it happened with the Knicks before they traded Julius Randle. Julius Randle gave the Knicks fans a thumb down.
Yeah.
Javi Baez was not a Met for another week, and Julius Randle got shipped off to Minnesota.
Yep.
It is a losing proposition, even when your name is Giannis, to boo the fan base because while you're making $60 million, $70 million a year, and life is great, and yes, you brought them a championship. Yes, you got a new arena built. Yes, you are the greatest player they've had since Lou Alcindor and the Big O. Great. Yes, yes, and yes. Once you cross that line and you boo the fan base for merely exercising their First Amendment right of disliking and disapproving your bad performance, your days in that city are numbered. I now think that Giannis will get traded at the trade deadline. It might not be to the Knicks, but don't sleep on the Lakers.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
They have one more win than Chicago, and they literally beat Chicago in Week 17, and yet the Niners are on the road and the Bears are at home. Why? Because of an outdated rule that says, well, winning your division is the holy grail. Rewarding an 8-win division winner with a home playoff game is like giving the corner office to the guy who won the office fantasy pool instead of the guy who actually closed the accounts all year.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back to the Carton Show. Tyron Johnson here. So it's kind of like waiting for the Pope to be announced and the smoke to come out of the Vatican's chimney there when they've elected a new Pope. The New York Giants now have John Harbaugh, I've been told, on the premises in New Jersey at the Giants facility. I will tell you this. The Giants facility, while fine, is not as nice as a lot of the facilities I've seen, but it's fine. They got the bubble, they got an outdoor field, and all that jazz, the cold plunge, and the hyperbaric chamber, all that nonsense that athletes truly don't need, but they like because it makes them feel good about themselves. But now the Giants are effectively on the clock. You know that the Titans are a team that a lot of people think highly of because of their cap space, young quarterback, apparently a GM that people like a lot. The Atlanta Falcons have become a favored destination because outside of quarterback, they've got a committed owner. They've got great talent, to be fair, on both sides of the ball. They're just missing that one final piece, which is, of course, a stud quarterback. But the New York Giants right now, thank you. The New York Giants right now have it all right there in front of them.
Yeah.
The New York Giants have the guy, I assume his agent's with him, in the building. They have their chance. It's going to be, I was told, today into tomorrow.
Yep, 2 days.
That's the plan, I was told.
Yep.
To give him the entire presentation, show him around. If things go well, even show him around New Jersey, suburb-wise and community-wise, so he and his wife and family can get an understanding of where do you live and all that stuff. That's a part of this as well. And then it just comes down to, I guess, two things, really. Philosophy. On the philosophy side, the most important thing is we're not going to fire Joe Schoen. Can you work with him? And every insider that you read has said that Joe Schoen is being highly aggressive, letting John Harbaugh, he's all in. Whatever Harbaugh needs and wants, he'd be right there running shotgun with him. So I don't think Joe Schoen is an impediment to getting John Harbaugh. I don't. And then it just comes down to, all right, what do you really think about our quarterback? And I would not be surprised. Matter of fact, I would encourage the Giants that if they want to make sure that he feels 100% comfortable, I would have Jackson Dart show up. I would make sure that part of today is Jackson Dart spending an hour alone, not with the owners, not with the executives, one-on-one, man-to-man, with the guy that might become his next head coach. I think that is paramount to getting this deal done. It's one thing to watch a guy on video,
right,
or even, see him in a preseason type game, right? It's another thing when you sit down and you talk one-on-one. Are you my kind of guy? Are you arrogant? Are you egotistical? Do you own your mistakes? Do you want to learn? Will you accept, a whole new system? Can you learn it fast? All the stuff that, bores us, but is important to that coach-quarterback relationship.
Yeah.
A lot of people have kind of followed in line with what you and I said when this whole thing started, when Harbaugh got fired by the Ravens, and that is the New York Giants have to make him what we refer to in the business as a hotel offer. Hotel offer, simple. You get a guy in a hotel room, you make him an offer, you tell him you can't leave the hotel room without your name on the piece of paper or the offer goes away. So you're basically going to make him the greatest offer he's going to get, and he's not even willing to look at any other situation. I think John Harbaugh is still going to interview no matter what in person with another team or two. We know he's talked to 8 teams or 9 teams.
Yeah.
This is the first in-person meeting. That being said, what can the Giants do to make sure he doesn't want to talk to another team, or if he does, it's as a courtesy and nothing else?
Yeah, because when the last time something similar to this happened was Andy Reid leaving the Eagles.
Okay.
There were at the time allegedly 6 teams interested. He went to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs didn't let him leave, and obviously we saw what happened. The key thing, I think, has to go back to Shane, though. We can't overlook that at all. I hear what you're saying, but the only thing that came from Harbaugh's camp was not control, not money, because he's getting paid a lot of money regardless.
It was $20 million for him. That's a yes from the Giants.
Right.
It was $10 million for his coaching staff. That's a yes from the Giants. It was final say on personnel decisions. My gut is push comes to shove. That's a yes from the Giants. And then the last box was, I get to decide who the GM is.
Right. He wanted to be comfortable. He wanted to make sure he was 100% comfortable with the GM. And you might be right about Joe Schoen in theory. It's also going to be interesting once they're face-to-face and they have a couple of talk about the philosophy of how they want to build a football team. If he talks about defense, what if he doesn't like last year's first-round pick for whatever reason? I like my edge rushers to be like this. He's like that.
Yeah, it's a part of it.
Those kind of things, I think, are going to be a big
Here's the thing. Look, I talk to Giant fans, obviously, all day, right?
Obviously, yeah.
And we have a Giants fan 50 feet beneath us right now. Most, not all, most Giant fans will tell you that they think with the right head coach, the New York Giants could win 10 games next year.
Yep.
And I know it's a tough schedule. Forget about that. So if you believe that, and most Giant fans, I truly think, feel like if you get us John Harbaugh, a coach of his quality, that there's enough talent right now that the New York Giants can have a major turnaround and at least be alive for a wild card spot next year.
Yeah.
So if I accept that as the gospel, then by default, Giant fans have to think that Joe Schoen has built a good team, right? As general manager over the last 4 years.
You would have to think
because you can't tell me that Joe Schoen has to go, and then on the other hand, tell me that there's enough talent here right now to win 10 games. We just need the right coach to do it.
Right.
So if you believe that there's enough talent right now for the Giants to win 10 games next year with the right coach, then you should have no problem if Joe Schoen retains his job. And the only oversight you give him is if it comes down to, the clock's ticking down draft day, and Joe Schoen wants the wide receiver, and John Harbaugh wants the defensive tackle, John Harbaugh wins that battle.
Right.
Outside of that, it's got to be a collective. And if I'm Joe Schoen and, my job security is on the line now, I will go out of my way to tell John Harbaugh today, this is my philosophy, but in the example I just gave you, I am fine with you winning that battle. So gun to my head, if the clock's ticking down and I want this guy, but you want that guy, you win.
Yeah.
And I think that's how Joe Shane keeps his job.
Yeah.
I don't think it's more complicated than that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then you brought up Jackson Dart. My concern would be if I'm Harbaugh, it's not really his play or his talent. It appears he has that. I don't know what kind of headspace the kid is in. They tell him to be more conservative
Have
about
you seen his girlfriend?
Yeah.
He's in a fine headspace.
No.
I promise you.
No, that might be the problem.
Yeah. He's
Are
getting
you more,
lots of headspace.
Right. Are you into that kind of headspace or the right kind of headspace?
Well,
I got to find that out. And the other part is if I'm instructing you to do something in order for you to play more football games, do you say, nah, it's football, blah, blah, blah? Are you going to actually still think you're Cam Scatterboo when Cam's going to be here 4 years tops? We want you here a decade plus.
Right.
So are you him? Or are you that? And that would be something big because what good is a talented player who's going to get 70 concussions every year?
Look, I'm with you. I think you can only legislate so much out of a guy. At the end of the day, you have to accept the guy, I think, for what he is. And you can tutor him along the way and try to be a great coach and say, let me walk you through that decision was a bad one.
Right.
Because you could have gone out of bounds. Yes, you would have gotten 2 less yards, but you're quarterbacking third down.
Right.
I'm with you 100% on that.
And what I mean by that is...
I'll say this about Jackson Dart, though.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart, unlike a lot of young quarterbacks, he's got a little Shadir Sanders in him.
He does.
He's got a little I would say arrogance, which is a good thing, I think, if you're a quarterback.
Yeah. It is,
but
it is.
He's got some personality. Like, he's got the mock turtleneck. He's got the chain.
He's dancing.
He's got
doing
the
a lot of
dances.
dances.
Yeah, like he's got some swagger about him, which is why he's going to be one of those guys that Giant fans love, hopefully for a long time.
Hopefully.
He's got that it factor.
He does.
Like, he's not boring like Eli was. Obviously, you take Eli's career right now. He's not boring like, I don't know, Drake May seems like a kind of like,
he seems like a
cardboard guy.
No, he does seem boring.
This dude's got some flair.
He does.
He's got some Craig Mack flavor in your ear is what he's got.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yes, that was the first Bad Boy artist for the kids that might not know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hear that. I just want to know what kind of mentality he has beyond I'm going to take hits. And that's going to be an interesting thing
we're going to find out.
Giants fans collectively seem to love him. Does Harbaugh?
We're going to find out the next 48 hours. Real quick, do you think Harbaugh leaves with a signed contract, or do you think he tells the Giants, I'll let you know?
I think he tells the Giants, I'll let you know. And in my opinion, I'm going to say it out loud, that's an epic failure by the Giants. Get it done by tomorrow. Announce a press conference when it's going to be on Friday.
By the way, John Maurer, who's not well, and obviously we wish him the best. He is undergoing a treatment for cancer. And Steve Tisch, the 2 main owners, are going to be in the building with Harbaugh all day today. So that's a big sign as well. So if you're a Giants fan, I'm a good guy. Good luck getting your head coach.
Maybe the fact was that the kicker just blew a 44-yard field goal. Now, by the way, I feel horrible for this kid, Tyler Loop, who made every single field goal this season 44 yards or less. But the extra point that was missed just before that by Chris Boswell was the only extra point that he missed all season long. So did they bless that same holy water when Boswell missed the extra point? Come on, guys. Let's get it.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
They have one more win than Chicago, and they literally beat Chicago in Week 17, and yet the Niners are on the road and the Bears are at home. Why? Because of an outdated rule that says, well, winning your division is the holy grail. Rewarding an 8-win division winner with a home playoff game is like giving the corner office to the guy who won the office fantasy pool instead of the guy who actually closed the accounts all year.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
It's going to open up Pandora's box. But I will say this. I do believe players that sign now, like Najee, should not be eligible now, but should have to sit out and come back in next year. It's just a slippery slope. And I agree with people like Tom Izzo. I don't like it at all.
College basketball today. Only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Okay, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Great to have you here. So Harbaugh is with the Giants right now. Tomlin, I guess, with his family right now. So he's out of the picture for now. Stefanski. It's interesting that nobody's gotten signed yet. The Giants, of course, have already done the Rooney Rule interviews. I'm not sure if the other teams have done that yet, so maybe that's why we haven't seen any movement yet. And don't forget this. Mike McDaniel covers the Rooney Rule. Don't forget that. Mike McDaniel would count as a minority interview if he interviews for a head coaching job. I guess his dad is African-American, I believe.
Allegedly.
Or he's Spanish or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's allegedly African-American.
He is.
Allegedly.
Well, I mean, allegedly.
Well, that's
Nobody lies about it.
It's a little bit, with him only,
Yeah.
it's a bit weird because he said he identified as black but wouldn't fully elaborate.
Was he Tiger Woods?
Yes. He's got a little bit Tiger Woods.
He's not sure?
He's not 100% sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think his mom's white.
Yes.
And I guess
that
his
we
dad
feel
was black.
Allegedly.
Like, it's not up for debate.
I agree.
Yeah.
But if you ask him, he plays fast and loose with it.
Yeah.
You got to ask him.
Yeah. But he counts as a minority interview.
I believe he does.
Because when the Dolphins hired him, everyone's like, oh, wait a minute. What about we got a minority.
Yeah, that's what
and
they
we were all
said.
like, excuse me?
Right.
Sorry?
Right.
Like Irish guys count as minorities now?
Right, like that's what we're doing.
We weren't
the
sure.
potato famine is now part of black culture.
Black history
But that's what we're doing. All right, but sure. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think it does. But if you ask him, he'll answer it in a weird way. Like
I got to find another interview with him
when
about
he interviews, if he interviews with, I would imagine if Harbaugh leaves, he'll get a Giants interview at that point.
That's interesting. It's funny to me that, the two jobs, and I was even talking to Jordan Schultz about this yesterday, the old Fox insider and a friend of our show is an insider as well. And it fascinates me because I've never lived in a world where anyone would say that the Tennessee Titans job or the Atlanta Falcons job was a premier job that the top coaching candidates, would ever want. And yet every insider from Jordan to all the other guys are all saying exactly the same thing, that in regards to Tennessee, the thinking is, all right, Cam Ward's the real deal. Obviously did not have great coaching this past year, did not have great players around him. But if you look at Cam Ward the last month of the season versus the first couple months, looked like he'd started to figure it out. I was a huge fan of Cam Ward's coming out of Miami, and I do think Cam Ward has NFL talent.
Yeah.
To be fair, awful rookie season, but I think it'd be fair for me to say not all on him. Yeah, that coaching staff has to take some ownership in that disaster as well.
He got fired early. He didn't know the rules.
Right.
The head coach didn't know.
Callahan.
Didn't know. And then because of that, now the offensive line coach gets fired because he didn't want to stay when they fired his son. So you lost your head coach and your offensive line coach from a rookie quarterback in the first month of the season.
So he gets a lot of grace. But, so Tennessee is viewed as we have, we think, a really good young, will be second-year quarterback.
That's what people think.
We've got $100 million in cap space. So if there's a free agent we want, we got him.
Yep.
All right. No state income tax as well. I guess that plays, for some guys when it comes to money. And the general manager there, who's a guy that I'm not familiar with, to be totally straight with you, is highly regarded, is a very well respected as a general manager. So Tennessee all of a sudden has all the makings for a really good head coach to go in, acquire great free agents, have a good draft, and build off a good rookie quarterback.
Right.
They're there. Over here, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, again, at no point in my lifetime would I've ever considered the Atlanta Falcons as a premier destination. We know what happened last offseason when they tickled the ivories with Bill Belichick, brought him in for an in-person interview, which nobody else did, and then Arthur Blank decided, I think it was more the GM there, actually, that recognized if I bring Bill Belichick in, I don't have a job.
Right.
So as the story goes, while Arthur Blank wasn't sold on Belichick anyway, that the general manager poisoned the well on Belichick out of job preservation. But the situation in Atlanta is you have a committed owner in Arthur Blank, your Home Depot guy, right? You have legitimate talent outside of quarterback. Now you have a very good defense. Team won 7 games or he more, so I don't think it's a great head coach. So it's not like you won a game or 2 games last year. You were competitive. You are not in a great division anyway, so the division is winnable. You have arguably the best, or certainly a top 2 or 3 running back in football in Bijan, right? You've got a good offensive line. You have an aggressive, good young defense. Man, if I could just get the right coach and quarterback, then I could win 9, 10, 11 games and win the division and have a home playoff game. And for those of you that don't believe that, consider this. If the Atlanta Falcons had beaten the New York Jets this year, and I use the Jets because they're one of the worst teams in football. If the Atlanta Falcons had beaten the New York Jets, number one, the New York Jets would have had the number 1 pick in this upcoming draft, and we would have gotten Mendoza. Okay, our quarterback prayers have been answered. But the flip side of that is Atlanta would have won the division. They would have won the NFC South. They would have had a home playoff game with Kirk Cousins, who played much better football than Penix did, and they might have won a home playoff game.
Yeah, they would have still lost because of but still they would have had the home playoff game. I don't trust that guy Kirk Cousins to win a playoff game.
Okay, but the point remains that is now viewed as a great situation.
It's not a bad situation, Ed, when you're a quarterback away. And there may be a coach out there that says, you know what, you used Penix wrong. And worst case scenario, we have a guy who we know is good enough to make the playoffs. Not good enough to win in the playoffs, but absolutely good enough to get to the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's been proven.
The other jobs, the Miami job, all the other jobs out there, they're 4th and beyond. The Giants, well, the Ravens is the best job because you have Lamar Jackson.
Well,
all right, in my opinion.
Well, the job opened up yesterday.
What job opened up yesterday? Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
No quarterback.
Yeah, but you have
quarterback.
Right, but here's the difference.
Yeah.
The best ownership situation.
Yes.
By far.
You'll be coached for 15 years minimum. I get it.
And also,
but you don't have a quarterback.
You don't have a quarterback now.
Yeah.
What if you like a quarterback that's in this draft? What if you like the third quarterback?
So you take Carson Beck at 20, whatever. I think he's the guy.
If you like him, it'd be if you like him.
I think the Ravens is the best job because of Lamar Jackson. I think the Giants is the second best job because you have Jackson Dart. I think I'd probably go Steelers third because of what you just said. So I'm giving you third. And then I'd go Tennessee. And then I'd go, wow, there's so many jobs that are open. I may have to backtrack on that Tennessee pick at 4. I don't love the Atlanta situation because, again, you don't have a quarterback.
To me.
Like you need a quarterback. You need a quarterback in this world.
I would go Steelers 1 by a wide margin.
You don't have a quarterback.
But I have a strong organization, which is more important.
Dude,
it's more important. I can get a quarterback.
Organization. They've gone 10 years without a playoff win.
Yeah. They have the best. That's the best job. The Steelers' job is by far the best job.
You're not going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah.
If I have a chance to coach Lamar Jackson, that's the only job I want. I think the Baltimore Ravens job is the best job out there. I'll tell you what.
We'll see.
If I'm Cliff Kingsbury, I want that job. If I'm Mike McDaniel, I want that job. If I'm Brian Dable, I want that job. That's the best job in football.
Let's play a little buy or sell. I think it's pretty evident that despite being one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL, Travis Kelce's play and physicality and everything, with all due respect, took a big step back. This was easily his worst physical season of all. He just didn't look like himself. Travis Kelce will retire after the season. Buy or sell?
Yeah, I'm probably 60-40 on this that he retires. The only thing I'd say that maybe he returns is because he doesn't want to end the way it ended, not making the playoffs and that sort of thing. But let's just say for Gales and Mahomes, he isn't going to be September or October, unless they get a really good veteran quarterback. Maybe he doesn't want to deal with that either. Go through a training camp and he may not make the playoffs either next year. So I'm probably 60-40. I think he's done. Too bad. Hall of Fame career. I guess good luck with Travis Swift and your podcast with Jason.
I'm buying this. Andy Reid addressing this question this week. Why? He could have just deferred and said, I don't know, we'll see. Fully answered the question about this maybe being his last game. What does that tell you? He knows. Everybody knows. I'm not 60-40, 90-10. I'm on buy. Bo Nix versus Caleb Williams. You'd rather have Nix over Caleb Williams in a dynasty league.
That's a tough one. I think I'm going to go Caleb here, mainly because he has more running ability than Nix. I think he'll stay healthier than Nix. I might like his receivers more as well. He's got Dunze. He's got You got DJ Moore. You got the good tight ends here. Probably do lean towards Williams here. Not by a hell of a lot. It wouldn't be an easiest choice here, but I'm going to go with Caleb Williams here.
I would agree. It's not that I think that Ben Johnson is a better coach than Sean Payton. I think Ben Johnson is better for Caleb Williams than Sean Payton will be for Bo Nix. I think running is going to be a big part of what Denver does in the future. So there you go. I'll sell.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
Hi, welcome back to the Craig Carton Show. Great to have you here. Tyrone Johnson here as well. Did you see what Miami did? Or I should say the Orange Bowl did for the championship game on Monday, Miami against Indiana?
I didn't see.
So they did a lottery for tickets, all
Okay.
right? So I think Miami got X amount of tickets, Indiana got X amount of tickets, all right? So what they did for the alumni at Miami is they said that if you are a member of the alumni club, you can be entered into a lottery to win tickets, a maximum of 2 tickets per person, and you had a choice of 2 different tickets. It was like a $600 ticket in one section or a $450 ticket in a different section.
Okay.
And not the greatest seats, but in the building.
You're in the
All
building.
right, so it's all good, right? Mm-hmm. So you had to prove that you were a member of this like alumni club.
Okay.
So it costs $100 to join the alumni club.
All right.
All right, and they
so a
only
little
had-
extra grab.
Yeah, so what happened was thousands of people, not just Miami graduates, like random people that just want to go to the game, signed up for the alumni club. It turns out that over 5,000 Indiana fans signed up for the Miami alumni club because they don't care who you are.
Right.
They don't care if you even graduated from there.
They just want the money.
It's just $100.
Right.
All right. And the $100 fee covers you for a year for alumni club activities, which no one's going to go to. But it gave you a chance to win. I don't even know how many tickets, maybe 1,000 tickets were available, 500 tickets were available, upper deck type stuff. But again, in the building for the national championship game. So I'm waiting for the report today to find out how many Indiana fans, because they obviously have traveled very well despite their tough financial circumstances. How many Indiana fans are now members of the Miami Alumni Club to try to get into the lottery? And my 2 kids, who have the sucker planted right in their forehead, both signed up.
Of course they
paid
did.
the $100.
Of course they did.
Neither one of them won the lottery.
Oh.
All right. They also reserved airfare tickets on Spirit and Frontier Airlines.
Oh.
So when they
So
lost
that means
the
at least
lottery,
at least one fight.
Okay, right.
On the flight.
So check this out. They both lost the lottery.
Yeah.
All right. So they went to Frontier and Spirit to cancel their flights, which they were told are refundable.
Yeah, they're not refundable.
Okay. They are refundable in the form of a future credit.
Oh no.
Okay. So now the flights were cheap because they're garbage airlines, and you're flying at your own risk. So the Carton kids dropped $200, okay, and now have $300 credits on Frontier and Spirit Airlines.
Well, listen, good for those kids. They'll never use that.
Of course not.
Unless they take an MMA class first, because there's going to be a fight on the flight.
100% going to be a fight. Yeah. So
To Miami?
I go, you guys suckers. Then Sonny, my oldest son,
Yeah.
him and his collection of misfits, they think they're cute. So they decide, what we're going to do is this. You can apparently buy in advance a parking spot.
Oh, that's great.
Like, I guess a VIP lot.
Yeah.
All right? So him and his buddies put their money together, and they buy 2 parking spots. I don't know how much it costs, but I'm assuming a few $100 per spot.
Yeah.
All right? They're going to figure we'll tailgate in the parking lot. One of their buddies will bring a generator. They'll get a TV. Obviously, they'll drink and do drugs and stuff like that. And they'll have a party.
Well, I'm going to say Drake.
They'll do drugs and they'll drink.
Drink.
Okay? And they'll watch the game on a 70-inch TV screen. And
Yeah, it's great.
There'll be girls. They'll have a great time. So they bought 2 parking spots next to each other so they could have a proper tailgate.
Yeah.
So on the surface, you might say, boy, that Sonny Carton's a genius, right?
Looks like he's ahead of the game.
His best friends who go by the names of Castro, Nacho, and a few other interesting nicknames.
Well, what the hell's going on there?
All right, that's his friends' names.
Okay.
Castro and Nacho, all right, and Franco. There's a lot of guys, right?
All right.
They didn't read the small print.
Oh, they didn't?
Apparently, Now, this is really going to come down to, whatever guy is guarding the lot and taking your pass. You cannot enter the lot without a game ticket. So these fooligans, they bought 2 parking spaces in a parking lot that, as of now, they're not allowed to access because they don't have a ticket to the game.
I mean, this kid spent about $1,000, and he may not be able to go at all between the airfare, the $100, and the 2 parking spots.
Not just that, Tyrone. They've ordered like meat from the local butcher. Some guy bought a portable grill.
Right.
You got the beer and vodka and all the mixers and whatnot, right? So these idiots might have dropped $1,000 on 2 parking spots and barbecue stuff for a parking spot they're not allowed to access.
Now, see, come on.
Yeah.
You got to teach them the game. They got to listen to you about the game.
And I tried. I even said to them, great idea. Are you sure you're allowed in the parking lot without a ticket? So then I get a panicked phone call yesterday. Can you call your friend in Miami and find out? So I email my buddy who's a ticket guy in Miami, and he goes, it's not our event, it's the building's event. The building is telling us no.
Oh, no.
Good luck.
Oh,
Have yourselves a great day. We'll see you tomorrow right here on SportsGrid. It's the Carton Show. Knuckleheads.